Welcome back to SwitchCorner. Today we're taking a look at Kingdom Hearts Melody and Memory on the Switch. This one though, it's not the typical RPG we would expect of the series. Instead, they're giving the Kingdom Hearts world a shot at the rhythm game genre. So does it do the name justice and the genre justice? Well, hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we will do here. Join our growing family and let's take a look. So story, and it's for sure minimalistic in new content. The majority of this mode here, it really focuses on recapping what happened in past entries. Think like small cutscenes that punctuate most of the stages. It's the cliff notes of what is now an epic saga. For me, I haven't played them all, so I actually enjoyed it honestly. It's not an easy series to get into at this point, and this one, it's done a good job of accommodating anyone no matter their experience with Kingdom Hearts. For fans, I still think there's content here to enjoy, but see it more as an excuse to basically revisit your favourite characters and moments from the series with then just like a small amount of new content tacked onto the end. Overall, I enjoyed it, but don't expect too much in the way of new. That is my only warning. So gameplay, and it's simple in concept: auto run down musical manuscript while hacking and slashing at your foes in time to the beat. You'll be controlling here a party of three. Your party initially will be led by Sora. This is the main group that you will often see guest characters kind of rotating in. Further down the line then you'll also get the option for additional teams, and that's kind of like a little way into story mode. Controls are simple, and I do like the approach. Rather than having a button per character, the game knows what you are doing, and it's simply about timing. The game, it's going to correctly pick the character by enemy placement in relation to the beat you hit, and all you need to do is hit the left or right trigger or A button. Now as the game progresses though, expect to see multiple enemies at once, and you'll start to need to combine these inputs. Alongside this then, you'll be able to jump either to attack enemies above you or to dodge projectiles. They're marked by arrows on the track. Colour's going to tell you which one of the two it is happening, and then you can also hold down that B button to fly for some orb collecting moments. Rounding out controls then, you'll see diamonds on this track as well. Get the timing right with these. You need to press that X button and you'll pull off basically a big old flashy move to take down a larger enemy. Alongside these core moves, shall we call them, the game gives you then optional power-ups which are gained alongside progress. These might give you something like a health boost if you fall below a certain percentage, or even an XP bonus. In the main story, 90% of what you do will be levels like this, but occasionally I will say it will separate and you'll face either a boss moment or maybe like a movie sequence. You'll be flying over the top. They might have a different layout and approach to delivering the notes to you, but they do control in the exact same way. So story mode setup, it is unique. You're traversing a map of different planets in a spaceship. Each of these planets has its own theme. You'll beat that world, you'll get a key that will unlock the next set of planets to explore and basically repeat. The first few worlds crushed them, but it's worth knowing the game actually auto sets to easy. On the levels, it turns out you can actually switch between easy, normal and hard. Once I bumped it up, definitely more challenge. The map here, it's a nice idea and all, but it's also my first problem. It just feels pointless and almost like simply padding to extend the runtime, because most of the time you're literally flying a few inches and that's about it. Other times you're kind of stuck flying around seeing where you left worlds unfinished, or those with outstanding bonus objectives, because you've now hit this key wall block. The other thing, rhythm games, they're all about high score chasing, getting that perfect run, but on the story screen on this map you can't see what you did previously. You can't see your high score, nothing. You need to click into each planet, then select the track you want before you get that information. I honestly do think for me a traditional menu would have been fine and more beneficial for quick pick up and play moments. Fortunately, that all said, if you want a more traditional rhythm experience, this does have free play where you can choose from one of the included 130 tracks and just dive right in. Sadly, another problem here though, you won't have access to all tracks from the very beginning. You need to unlock them first in story mode. I see why they did this. Just not sure how I feel about it personally. I think I prefer the option of story or simply jumping in. Either way, I'm going to play them all, so I'm not sure how the game really benefits from this sort of restriction. So outside of the story, the free play, we round out the package with versus mode and co-op. Versus, that's self-explanatory, but co-op is really interesting because you're obviously working together. You control a character each, and it's a really unique approach to multiplayer rhythm action. Outside of the modes here, then finally, we do have a lot of extra little pieces, collectibles, the ability to craft, which is, it's okay. Power-ups to experiment with, and then some character and team breakdowns. It details like health, level and XP. Not really sure how that impacts the gameplay because I couldn't really notice anything. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I have my problems with this though, and we will look further into that now, but credit where credit is due. All these small ideas, they show the care that has been put in here to make sure it's not just another rhythm game with a Kingdom Hearts skin. It feels like it belongs, you know, in the Kingdom Hearts canon. So problems outside of the map that we've already discussed and the locked away tracks. The two additional stage types, the boss moments and the video sequences, nowhere near as strong as the core levels. They feel basic, they feel tacked on, and they feel underdeveloped. Could have done without them honestly, though they are simple enough. I will say they're at least done with quickly and they don't pop up too frequently. They're just very kind of weak in comparison. Then the difficulty, it could have done with an extra like option or two. One maybe like even harder and then one between easy and medium. There's a noticeable spike in required ability. It doesn't feel like it's going to allow for the typical like smooth progression from one to the next. Frame rate then, 99% of the time it's fine, but there was some noticeable freezes that did throw me off on my rhythm as I tried to, recover and not lose my current chain or high score. As I say, not frequent, but they do happen and they will for sure impact you. Finally, the power-ups, I just don't like them personally. I don't think they hurt anyone or anything, or the experience in fact. I just chose not to use them. It's a nice tie back to the core RPG experience, but they feel cheap in a rhythm game, almost like using, a turbo button in a fighter. Now overall, look, I had a good time gameplay wise, but it's not without its missed opportunities and a few areas that could definitely do with some tidying and tweaking. So graphically I was impressed. While they don't reach the production quality of Kingdom Hearts 3, they will bring all your favourites to life, and it's unique seeing Sora run down this track with Donald Duck or Hercules or even the Little Mermaid. It might be a visual shift only, but having multiple teams and then guest stars that may rotate in for a song or two, it always led to my curiosity pushing me to move forward to see what they, rolled out next. Likewise, the visuals, they look clean and modern, but they don't go far from the well-loved Kingdom Hearts aesthetic, and that's great, helping all the cutscenes blend together and feel right. Notes then as well the all-important visual cue to hit that controller. They are absolutely spot on for the core levels, bright, flashy, look out for a circle and get that timing ready. Having different enemies then as well will quickly become part of your strategy, as each comes with its own unique movement style and you'll start to recognise this. My only issue graphically, the animations I mentioned there, they can throw you off just a tiny bit as you judge the angle they're attacking from, along with some of the movement not quite making sense. You might jump and take down an enemy in the air, but next time you see them, no jump required, even though they're again flying above your head. It's minor though, it's all practice, and generally I was impressed. Audio then, and I mean sure, the sound effects and cutscenes, which are of course voice acted and absolutely great. It's the sort of quality you expect of any game wearing the Kingdom Hearts name. What we are here for though is the music, and it's a hell of a soundtrack, and of course it steals the show. 130 tracks of memorable pieces and a trip through of course the history of the series, though I will add there it's kind of a minor inclusion for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's only got a very small section dedicated to it. It's set out though to be a celebration of the music of the series, and in that sense this game absolutely succeeds. So overall, I enjoyed it. In fact, honestly, I enjoyed it a lot more than I expected. On first reveal, it all sounded a little bit expensive, but now I've seen it in action, I've looked at the 130 songs, I've felt the solid mechanics, I'm gonna say I'm actually okay with the price. The characters are great, and the story, while an excuse to of course revisit the series, it means it's just accessible for anyone, no matter your personal history with the game, whether you've never played it before or you've played them all. I'll say it again though, it's not lazy, it's not a cash grab, it's a celebration of the series, and yeah, they've done an absolutely great job in that sense. While I don't agree with all of the mechanics and they could get rid of the pointless map traversal in my opinion, overall I can get behind this one for rhythm fans or series fans. Today I'm going to be giving Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory a good 7 out of 10. With that, look, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. Helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. I truly do appreciate it. If you want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.